The tools to make the moves, the keys for what you need. Opportunity knocking, yeah. They got the right price. This ain't no game. It's a house heist. It's a house heist.
Around here, we call it a house heist, meaning get the knowledge before you discuss price. So when investments knock, you be there to answer. Then you can be the boss just like Tony Danza. Gab and Herb gon' hit you with the word. So open up your mind and be prepared to learn the best tips for the flip. Yo, it's lit. I'm talking larger stakes on larger stakes.
It's
Come
a
on.
house heist.
Welcome to another episode of HouseHeist Uncut, where we are here to educate, empower, and entertain.
And we believe when opportunity knocks.
Answer. I'm Gabrielle.
And I'm Herbert.
And welcome to HouseHeist Uncut. So today's special guest is a dear friend of ours, Mr. Terry Mills, realtor extraordinaire.
Oh, wait.
Investor / papa / deacon
He embodies everything
/
from
husband.
he embodies family, faith, and finances all in one.
Come on, Herb. Clean that thing up.
Absolutely, absolutely. So thank you so much for joining us today, Mr. Terry
Oh,
Mills.
man. So honored.
We're here to talk about his brand new book, Amazon bestseller.
Okay. Here
Nobody
we go.
cares, work harder.
That's it.
All right. Does anybody really care? Nobody does care, do they?
And from his story, nobody really cares. He had to figure it out.
Always got to figure
You
it
had
out.
to figure
man.
it out.
So T, tell us a little about, well, we call you T because we dear friend of ours. We work out together. We talk about business opportunities. I pick his brain, he pick our brains, and we just flow with it. We in a sharing economy, so we share a lot of information over here. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so Terry Mills, Birmingham native, been here most of my life. Have a criminal justice background, but recently got into real estate. Well, I guess 5 years ago. It ain't that recent.
Not that recent.
Nah,
I
I'm
know.
kinda-
I remember I used to walk around calling you
Used
rookie.
to call me rookie. I ain't no rookie no more, man. I'm 5 years in the game.
5 years in the
5
game.
years in the game.
Broke the barrier.
That's it. But yeah, man, just out here trying to get it, looking up to people like y'all, and just glad to be here.
Oh, we're so happy to have you. And one thing I will say about you, when I very first met you, you always lived out loud.
Right.
You were not afraid to put yourself out there, to go get it. I mean, just to really showcase yourself and build your brand. And you really built your brand pretty early on.
Right.
And there was one name that an agent gave you when you first started. And what was that name?
T. Diddy. The Diddy of Real Estate.
The Diddy of Real Estate. And who gave you that name?
Gabby, you gave me a name. Just go ahead and get it.
Hey, she want her kudos.
She get a lot of kudos.
I
bro.
know, but I
Just
love
go
it
get
though. It's so funny. It's one of those things that we were just in the office, just jiving around, doing what we do, because we have a really close knit of real estate friends. And I was like, look at you all, T Diddy, walking around all up in the videos, doing this and doing that, and it just kind of stuck.
It
and
stuck,
everybody started calling him that.
The
So it's
funny
pretty cool.
part is, like, people think I made that up. I'm like, no, I just embraced it. I'm like,
Yeah, you embraced
whatever
it.
you know me by, we gonna ride
We
by.
gonna ride
I'm-
with it.
I'm
Long
gonna
as you-
walk into that image. And
Right,
we
as long
gonna
as
go.
you buy this house.
Whatever makes you call me, we gonna go
we
with
gonna
it.
go with it. Well,
Yeah.
we are so happy to have
Absolutely.
you here today. Thank you so much. So before we get into further conversation, of course, we gotta always see what they saying in
And
these
they
streets.
saying a whole lot of stuff in these streets. They say we're going to get another stimulus package.
Ooh, did you get one the first time?
I don't know about that. I get one. A lot of people got one. Walmart was off the chain when they got one.
Oh yeah.
And of course, Walmart, they don't wear a mask in Walmart, so you know how that go. But yeah, they say
So
we're
how
going to get
much
another
were the stimulus? Did you get a stimulus check?
I'm gonna be honest, man. I got something.
Okay.
I don't know where it
Good.
came
You don't know
from.
where it came from? Good.
I applied for a bunch of stuff, and one day I
That means
checked
you
my
got a
account,
good accountant.
and I was like, there
Yeah.
it is.
Good.
I'm just waiting for that email to tell me how to repay it. But until then, we gonna keep riding.
Keep going
So they
on.
got a stimulus package for individuals, and they got a stimulus package for business. That's what they say.
Mm-hmm.
Now, last stimulus package, I heard a lot of stories about people balling,
Yeah.
And I don't know how they figure out how to get $2 million from the government, but they need to let me know I'm here.
Right.
I raise my hand. Holler at your boy. Let me know how to do that. Then.
Right.
But I ain't gonna go ball and buy no Rolls Royce and nothing like that. I just want to stimulate the economy.
I was one of those people. I didn't apply for those packages. I don't know. I guess I was just kind of afraid to, because business never really, honestly, slowed all the way down for us. I mean, we were scared the first month.
I was going to say, but I know myself, I didn't know what was going to happen.
Right.
So
Them
first few weeks, though.
Yes. It was scary.
Yeah.
Uncertainty.
Yeah.
It was very uncertain.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. And then all of a sudden, it's like, okay, we're essential. Let's get back to work.
That's it.
And so it was one of those things.
And a lot of people kind of, it's we talk about it in humor, but a lot of people kind of struggled during this time. Some people didn't
People
get
are
those
still
stimulus packages.
struggling.
Yeah, still
Yeah.
struggling. Some people didn't get those stimulus packages, and some people did, and some took advantage of it. That's to be expected, though. You expect stuff like that. But hopefully this time around, the people that didn't get it before, hopefully they get it. Hopefully they do right by it, and we move
Absolutely.
forward. Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
But the crazy part about even when you get those stimulus packages, and you think about businesses, like I know Ruth Chris was in the news, heavy because they got money, but the definition of a small business is if you earn $50 million or under.
Yes.
So although it's Ruth Chris,
Yes,
we go there and get our steaks and stuffed chicken, it's still considered a small business.
Absolutely.
And so, but they did, after I guess they got much flack,
Yeah.
they gave it back. So,
But it's funny,
crazy,
Ruth Chris is not the only one who took money and
Yeah.
used it. And, some
Absolutely.
big companies took money, they didn't use it, and they did give it back. But then some, hey, the government giving away money,
yeah, I'll take it.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
But we got to remember this: you got to pay it back. But I think they're also working on, if you only receive a certain amount of money, they're gonna forgive it. So still pay attention to that. I don't know how it's gonna happen, but get with your accounting, get with people around you, and see how you can forgive that money.
And benefit.
And
So stay tuned. They say.
They say now, I ain't saying this. HouseHeist ain't saying this. T Mills ain't saying this.
Because I don't even know. I don't know nothing. Them news to me too, y'all. So that's what
Right,
they say.
we telling you so.
So they say.
They say another stimulus package is on the way.
It's on the way.
So stay tuned. All right, so let's dig into our conversation for today with Mr. Terry Mills, T. Diddy of Real Estate, here with his
Tuck.
new book.
All the childhood friends call him Tuck.
I got a broken nail, so I'm trying to hide my nail too.
Hey, she been scratching rocks.
You had that nail broke for 2 weeks.
Right, trying to address the elephant in the room now because she on camera.
We gonna fix it up before they say
Like
something.
this, and I was like, oh, wait, I broke my nail.
So let's get into it. Nobody
Right.
cares.
Right.
Work harder.
Right, right.
What inspires you?
So I'm gonna start with the name, right? So honestly, I first saw that last year on a T-shirt that Lamar Jackson had on, because y'all know I'm a big Baltimore fan.
Okay.
And he was doing a press conference, and he had on a T-shirt that said, "Nobody cares, work hard." I was like, damn, that's dope, because at the time this boy was like in the running for league MVP and setting all kind of records, but the shirt was so humbling at the same time. So I'm like, I like that. And so honestly, I just started hashtagging it, just thinking that would be something cool. And then I was talking to a few people about the book title, and actually somebody gave me that idea. The book actually was going to be called Trust Your Process.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the person said,
That's another one of your hashtags
she
that
was
you've taken.
like, everybody says that.
Yeah.
What you should do is do this. And I was like, damn. Boom. So I really,
Yes,
yeah, just having a conversation with somebody, that kind of inspired the book. But, I mean, the title. But, I mean, really, man, it was just me feeling like my calling is to inspire and motivate people. And I feel like I have heard so many people tell me, you need to tell your story because it will help somebody. And, of course, you know, you had those insecurities like, well, who in the world going to want to read that? Right? Like, why would anybody care?
Right.
And then for two, when am I going to have time, right? Well, this good old thing named COVID came. I was like, well, bro, you got about a good at least
Kinda
6 weeks.
kicked you, right.
If you going to do it, here you go. So,
Yeah.
so that's kind of how it all
Yeah,
happened.
so you wrote this book during COVID.
Yeah, like legit.
Wow.
Like legit.
Amazing.
So the inspiration came before COVID. COVID gave you the opportunity.
Right,
too,
exactly.
Right.
Right.
To kind of really sit. And I bet it was liberating as well.
Man, it was actually fun because to tell your own story, it's like, oh, wait, I can't wait to, you know what I mean?
Right.
And then when you put the ideas together, you realize how inspiring it is. Like, in your
Right.
mind, you didn't, but when you start writing it,
Writing it,
and
right.
like, I think this is going to touch this person. This is going to help this person. And so
Exactly.
I got to
love
ask this
that.
question. It's a lot of stuff made the book. What didn't make the book?
it's a lot that didn't make it. That might be the next book. I don't know. This was just the test.
Nobody
of the waters.
cares, work hard or uncut.
You lying.
HouseHeist Uncut gave you that one.
It could have went so many different ways, man. Especially the me and my wife part. That could have went.
Yeah.
But I wanted
love
to
that.
just give enough to people
Yeah.
like, okay, I see how that works.
Yeah, and the fact is, though, I mean, you're being vulnerable. I mean, you're talking and telling your story.
Right.
I mean, that takes a level of, number one, how they say know thyself. You know, knowing who you are and being vulnerable. You know, to a certain extent.
Yeah.
And then comes that is the book reviews. Okay,
Right.
do they like it? Are
Bro,
they gonna like it? You
that
know?
first week I was so scared.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh God, I hope it's good. It's kind of like when a rapper has this anticipation of his album, and it be trash. You be like, bro, you made us wait this long for this. I swear, I was so nervous, man. But so I've been getting good reviews. I guess everybody can't be lying.
You can't love. And like I said, I mean, Herb reads all the time, and he actually read the entire book. So he finished it up. So
let's dig in the book a little bit, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
You started from humble beginnings,
Right.
and your family. You started in Boston. You were born in Boston. And you moved from Boston. I guess you said first grade, correct?
Yeah.
Your first grade.
Yeah.
So when you was in Boston, how was Boston? Because I've been to Boston a few times, and I know you was a child then.
Yeah.
But you said you was eating lobster and steaks on the grill.
So-
that's why, cause y'all catch that shit up there. First of
It
all,
is fresh. It is different. True. It is. It's like eating soul food here.
yeah.
But I didn't realize how good life was until I got an adult, right?
Okay.
Because when you grow up, that's just your normal. Like your reality is your reality.
Correct.
But I mean, life was good, man. We were straight, like
Yeah.
taking summer vacation to Cape Cod, and I remember my folks
Nice.
having parties
Martha's
all the
Vineyard
time.
and all that
like we used
carrying
to just rent houses up. Like I remember
Wow.
that as a child.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So now being an
nice.
adult, knowing what it take to like rent a house, I'm like, oh, okay, we
You
kind
took
of
that for granted, right?
yeah, we was kind of straight. So,
That's right.
so that's why I thought that was important to put in the book to see the transition go from this. It started with my parents going from this to here to back, and then the same thing happened to me. So I was like, that's just real life, and
Right.
people
It's
want to
life.
front and act like it ain't. But
No.
what they say, just keep living.
Just keep living. and the beauty of that is you got to just, most people are going to fall or fail at something, but you fail forward.
Right.
And at least you're one step ahead of where you
That's
were.
right.
So
That's right.
awesome.
And they also
Yeah.
say if you make $1 million and lose it, if you can't make it back, then it wasn't meant for you to
It
have
don't
it to
count.
begin with.
There you go.
So
There you go.
in the book, your family, you go through a lot of highs and lows in the book, and of that, what did you take? How did that help you build the person you are today?
So the biggest inspiration was my mom. And you
Yes.
notice I talk about her a lot in the book. So I can't give too much.
No,
but-
don't get because they got to
We gonna
buy
hit
it
by-
now.
yeah,
We
we
gonna
want
get
them
the
to read
high level.
Yeah. So
Go
so
buy it.
yeah.
Nobody cares.
Amazon. It's on Amazon. We'll tell you how to cop it later on.
Yeah, so the biggest thing was to see her, who really was, a boss for real, has always been a boss in my eyes, go from here to here to back to here, right? And to see what she did. So in the book, you see, I talk about in Boston, she had a good job. She's got like 2 or 3 degrees. I don't know what else she got going on, but she was always cool.
Right.
And then, to go to all the way down to like working at a plant, I was like, damn, hold on now. Like by this point, I'm like middle school, so I can kind of get
What
it.
year was that?
95,
Okay.
94,
Okay.
95. Yeah, 'cause we moved to Atlanta in 96.
Okay.
I remember
Okay.
that vividly because the Olympics was there. That's how I can always
Okay.
staple that. But yeah, so I was old enough to realize like we ain't really doing too good. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of getting bad around
Mom,
here.
what happened?
Yeah. But the turning point was she went back to school. She went to Lawson State. That's where she got her nursing degree from.
Okay.
Right? And I remember when she decided to do it, my dad was like, why are you going to do that? Like, he was totally against it. And me being a man or a boy, I was on my dad's side. I mean, I legit was like arguing with mom, this not a good time to go back to school. What are you doing? Like, you going to stop working? We already broke.
Right.
But to see her, like you said, take that quote-unquote fail, but then fail forward,
Right.
if she never would have made that pivot, who knows where things would have
Where
been.
things would be. That's right.
And so for me to live through it and see it, I'm like, damn, okay, so you can fail or fall off, as we say,
Right.
and come back stronger.
And
so
how do you come back from that?
Right,
That is so
right,
true. And I love your mom, by the way. And I
Yeah.
love the way she rides for you and supports you.
Man,
So, I mean, y'all are a great
she do
great
all the
team.
stuff behind the scenes. Y'all just
Yeah.
don't know.
Oh,
it.
no. You know I know.
Bro.
Y'all are a great team.
So that's pretty dope right there.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
like a lot of people think, that when you're on top, you should stay on top. But if you ever look at the stock market, it goes up. It might take a dip.
That's right.
It goes back up. It might take a fall.
Right.
But then it keep rising and keep rising.
Yeah.
So a lot of those, I can say that a lot of those values are in the person that I see every day.
Right.
You were talking about in the book where your mom, if you don't mind me talking about it, your mom and your dad is your dad is your dad, but your father is your father, and you really, become, what I say, transparent in the book. You really let people know about,
Right.
which is hard to do.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
as a male, you talk about this in the ego part. As a male, you put on this facade to be something that.
Right.
That you're really, you're really not.
You're really not.
But you got to appear that way.
Right.
Especially as a black male, you got to appear that way.
Right.
As, being strong.
Right. Right.
And I love the way in the story you talk about where you had the 750 BMW, all white, but you didn't have a dime in your pocket.
Bro,
Elaborate about that for me, if you
Man,
don't mind.
so
So I did read your book, like I said.
bro, you want it? I was waiting for you to give me the color the interior.
He dig deep into the book. Hold on.
So man, like I have always wanted a 7 Series. Like when they first dropped, I said, damn, what is that? I remember, man, Dope Boys in the Hood, they had the blinds in the back. I'm like, bro, just hit the blinds one more time, man. Like, this was like really amazing to me, man. So I'm like, that's gonna be my car. I'm like, even if I become a millionaire, I want one of them cars. So when I was able to get one, I was like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Bro, that transition from worker to entrepreneur was very, very real. And so I remember, man, like when I got laid off, they gave me like a 3-week notice. Like that was it. Like it was like this time they're like, next Friday gonna be your last day. Damn, okay. Cool. Then I was like, okay, what kind of severance package we get? Man, by the time taxes hit, it was like $6,000 after 9 years of service. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yes.
But real estate was, I was getting traction, but as you know, it takes months to really get them checks. So
absolutely.
I'm like, well, I got this much saved. I got about 3 months. That's about it. Well, them 3 months came and went. And when bill collectors started calling.
Yeah.
And I remember, man, like I remember this vividly. It was one day they was like looking for the car. And I'm out showing houses. I'm like, damn. I'm like, what side of town you want to go see this house on? I'm like, them repo man. They were like, well,
you tell.
bro, they were like, well, we're coming to get it. I'm like, God, dog. So, and I'm fresh. I'm shirt and tie, Creed cologne on, bro. Couldn't pay my car note, man. You know what I'm saying? If my clients only knew what was going on.
They only knew about his house. Hurry up and buy it today.
I need 30 more days. I got 30 more days. But that was just so real because, I had a Dodge Ram that was repoed. Yeah. I was like, but I ain't getting rid of my 7. So what was so crazy though, when I filed bankruptcy, when I learned how bankruptcy worked, it really was a blessing in disguise.
Okay. Okay.
Because it protected me from all that. So they was like, yeah, they can't come get it. Like, you good. I'm like, for real? Yeah. So when I went to go see the bankruptcy attorney, he was like, you can go take out a loan and pay me with it, and I put that in bankruptcy. I'm like, damn, for real? I wish I'd have took out more loans before I filed the bankruptcy. If I'd have knew then. But I was so like in a humbling state of mind.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? I would have been like Donald Trump. I'd have started about 3 businesses.
Right.
But
just renegade.
The crazy thing was, I was able to go buy another car like that.
Mm-hmm. So it wiped that old debt out, yeah.
And so actually, a lot of people know this, I actually had 2 7s for about 2 months. I had a black one, and I still had the one that was going to repo. But because of the bankruptcy, they was like, we can't touch it.
They can't touch it. Wow.
So I was like, that's just ignorant. I was finna be ignorant. I was just going to switch up for no reason. I'm going to try the black one today. But,
okay.
but just going through that phase, though, man. Golly, man. Because I'm questioning God, you know what I mean? Like, I'm paying my tithes. I'm going to church. I'm trying to live the best life.
Right.
I'm like, what is going on? But I had to look at the bigger picture. Like, he was preparing me for where we are now. So,
absolutely.
Because if I had that same mind frame that I had then, I wouldn't be.
Yeah, you would be.
Ignorant.
You would have lost it all.
Straight Diddy.
Right.
I have a Bentley out there for no reason.
Right.
Barely putting gas in it, but I have one.
That. But I love that, and like I said earlier, I love the fact that you're so transparent in the book and with people and everyone that meets you. I mean, you're just very I mean, you're very embracing. I mean, you're always willing to lend a helping hand to new entrepreneurs that are up and coming. And so just continue to shine and be that beacon in
Gotcha.
the neighborhood. We
Yes,
appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Cool.
So they say you play football in college. Is that right?
I was on the team.
Hold on. They say you played running back in college. Come on now. Tell them a little bit about
Go Blazers. Go Blazers.
Yeah, so, all right,
So she
man.
claim every school but her school.
What is my school? LSU?
Nobody knows. You claim
Excuse me?
LSU, you claim UAB,
Don't do that.
you claim
B.
Alabama.
Ryan, did
and
I
when
not
and when the
claim
LSU
LSU?
is getting toe out the frame,
Then what team she go to?
Go to
I go
Bama.
to Alabama,
But
Roll
How you
Tide.
gonna be LSU in Alabama?
Okay, don't do that. First of
That's a-
all,
that's
we're
a
talking
true-
about Terry and this
No,
book.
bro.
That's first of all. This is what we're talking about right here. We're not talking about sports.
So you give back a lot to the kids, T, and you've been keynote speakers at events for kids, and you believe in kids, and I can honestly say I admire your family structure and where you deal with your family.
T1, T2,
and-
T3, and now T4.
Oh.
So
Got
is
four.
it safe to say that's your big why?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I don't want to be one of them cats that ball while we was here and didn't do nothing for his family. Like
Right.
that's super whack to me. You know what I mean? And you see that a lot. You're
Yes,
like,
yes.
man, I'm hearing that, such and such died and they having to do it. What they do, a
GoFundMe,
GoFundMe? That is just so
yeah.
embarrassing
That's
to me,
right,
bro. Like, we got to
yes.
do better, man.
That's
like,
right.
even on top of that, like, I be preaching life insurance to people. Like, that is how you can keep that wealth going. It's
Right.
like the
That's
secret,
right.
and people don't even know.
That's right.
It's been around for years.
Bro,
Yeah,
like
but people
I
don't
got a
know.
$500,000 on me right now, and I'm happy to tell people
happy-
that. Like
yeah,
I'm trying to
that's right.
educate people on that. I'm
yeah.
like, you gonna die.
Right. You go. It's part of life.
It's part of
Yeah.
life. So do something to put your family straight. But as blacks, man, we just got to do better with that generation thing.
Yeah.
And
Totally.
and
You know, a lot of people believe like, hey, if I got it, y'all got to earn y'all own way.
That's
I'm
so
a
whack,
ball
though.
while I'm here. Yeah.
But
That's
then
so
you leave
whack.
your family and your loved ones struggling
Struggling,
and trying to pick
Yeah.
up the pieces.
Yeah.
But like you said, that black wealth is important.
It's
just
important.
taking the time, just the small things like home ownership.
Right.
You know more about
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, you're a realtor and entrepreneur, but home ownership matters.
It does.
And I
Yeah.
keep saying it over and over and over again. And I really believe I'm an investor and an entrepreneur myself. But I bought my first house at 21, and I always tell people that first house right now is feeding me. And that's been 21 years ago, but it's still
Because you're
feeding.
still collecting the
I'm
rent
still
off
collecting
of
the
it every
rents.
month, and then
I
you
got
have
the
equity.
Yeah,
that
and
you
if I
pull
want
out
to
of
cash
it.
out today, I'll walk away with 50 grand in my
Right.
pocket. So
Right.
but that
smart.
wealth is important.
I had a young dude. See, we switched. We hit like 3 topics.
Yeah,
gonna
we
get back to
did.
those
We
two,
did.
but-
It's
but
okay. It's
speaking of-
uncut. It's
I
uncut.
got you, I
We
got
can
you.
flow.
So a guy hit me the other day about teaching him like how to flip houses or whatever. You
Mm-hmm.
know, it's so crazy. Social media, people think you're a guru. I want to say, nigga, I'm just learning myself. But okay, I'm like, I got you, bro. I got you. Call me tomorrow, right? I'm gonna call Herb. Herb, what do I tell this young brother? I don't know what to tell him, but
The ebook is on the way.
that's right. Oh, that's right. That's right. But he want to talk about all this fun and elaborate stuff, but he rents, and I'm not knocking that he rents, but I'm like,
Right.
well, bro, the first thing, buy you a crib.
Right. You
Yes.
need somewhere. Yeah.
He didn't like the answer, but that was a real answer. You need to start with you.
Right.
He was like, yeah, I got a good credit score, got money in the bank. He want to do all that. I'm like, well,
wanna do all the
but you
investment.
renting right now, bro.
Renting,
Like,
right,
so
that's
first
right.
thing, do this. I'm gonna hook you up with my lender. Send me your information, email. I ain't heard back from him. So people want the show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I'm
the real answer is you need to start where you at.
Right,
Take that, like
right.
you just said, equity out of that house and maybe take that money and go.
That's right.
Absolutely.
But people don't want that
People
side.
don't want that. They want the show. They
They
doing
want
it
the
for the
show.
gram.
Right,
They doing
make it
it,
look
you know,
good.
exactly.
It's crazy.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
And it's funny, we switching back to your book. In your book, you talk about ego.
Yeah.
And you switch, I think in the beginning, that was your mindset just a tad bit. Then
Yeah.
you switched it talks about ego. It's like a switch went off in your head. You're like, you know what? Let me focus on my ego. Let me put that down.
Well, I think it's just a cultural thing.
Okay.
I really
okay.
think as black men, we're taught, or the environments that we're in makes us feel like we got to put on and be something we're not.
Absolutely.
It's so funny. I was just meeting with my mother, and we was having the same conversation talking about the book. And my aunt said, I want my sons to read that because they need to see that. And I said, but you know what's funny? One of my homeboys brought that to my attention. He was like, bro, you're not the same person I met back in 05
Yeah.
at all.
Was that Freddie?
Yes. Freddie, yeah, my boy Freddie. Freddie said, bro, I cannot wait till you have an event. I'm going to grab that mic and tell you. He's like, bro, you was so damn mean to me back in the day. I was mean to hell to Freddie. but just because he was different.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with
his
him.
swagger was different.
He was just different from the folks. So I just didn't do him right. But what I learned, man, Fred is like the most genuine dude that I know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But he was like, bro, it's good to see that transition. He's like, because we need to see more black men say that it's okay to be smiling on pictures.
Right.
Like it's okay to adapt everybody up when you walk in the room. Like you be so threatened that, if you
You gotta
smile.
stand there.
They're gonna think you soft.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like he pointed out, he was like, and I didn't know it had happened. He was like, but bro, you way different now. I
Way
was like,
different. Yeah, you smile.
So he was like, man, you need to put that in the book. So literally the next morning, I went and wrote that part after having that
That's
conversation.
pretty cool.
with him.
That's pretty cool to have friends like that or call you out on your
True.
shit, right?
Call, man,
You know?
my group, I'm like downhill in my group. Look, I be asking them, like, man, why y'all never like my post? Like, them niggas don't even. They don't comment. I be like, I guess y'all love me.
Right. Y'all didn't like my stuff.
I be looking at, you got all these strangers, like, okay, that's cool. I be
Right.
like, man,
What my boys at? They ain't saying
the ones that's at my house is there. Like, they
Right.
But that's cool, though. I
That's
like
real,
that.
though.
That
You
is
gotta
real.
have real
So you
people
just got
around
into real
you.
estate investing. You got into flipping now.
Yeah.
How many homes have you flipped now so far?
We're on our second one, man.
Okay.
On our second.
Okay.
So here's what I will say
Okay.
to everybody. It ain't as easy as you think.
Right. Right.
I remember when I first met Herb. Man, first of all, let me brag on Herb right quick. So everybody knew Gavin. Everybody like, but that nigga Herb though, man, bro, that nigga right there. I'm like, man, who is he?
And he's so humble.
Man, so that's where I'm finna go.
He is
So bro
humble.
had the photo Bentley outside, not the old folk Bentley that everybody in Birmingham got. I'm talking about the big dog flying spur, like the one that we don't know what it costs. I was like, damn, that's a real Bentley. I was like, I know cars like that
There ain't no Chrysler.
ain't a Highline, bro. You can't get that downtown, bro.
You can't get that downtown.
No, you gotta go out of state to get that one,
You
bro.
can't get that
No, they ain't selling that here. I know what that is. Look, so I never forget though, man. It was when y'all had that party, Christmas party at Pepper Place.
Yeah. That's what I
I
probably.
think that's the first time we really just talked.
Yes, sir.
And this is in a party now, and like you took like 20 minutes to talk to me about, like, bro, I'll show you. It ain't that hard. Do this, do that. And I was like, damn, that was pretty good. Like, most folks are not gonna do that. They give you one or two answers and give you some old call me Monday, but like we was really in the party, like talking, and you was like, bro, I swear I'll show you how to do this. And I was like, damn, that's a real genuine dude. And so that actually was the first time I know, like, you can be cool and still be on. Like, you don't have to be an asshole to it.
Right.
They say most rich people cool as shit. I ain't rich yet, but I'm just saying they say most of them.
But you know why? But you know what I think it is? I think it's the ones that wasn't born that
Oh
made
my gosh.
it.
Got
It's so
you.
true.
Because you went through something.
Because you went through
And
and
still
still
going
going
through
through
Still
stuff.
going through, right. So I
still
think
going
that's
through
levels,
it.
too.
Because you
That's
got
right.
it, and then you have to maintain it, and then you achieve, you want to go
maintain is
further.
harder than
yeah,
getting it.
maintaining it. Yeah, you got to
Yeah.
maintain
Hey,
it.
preach,
Bruh,
deacon, preach.
bruh, like you be so scared, like, man, if I don't say it, got a lot of stuff. But yeah, but I always wanted to do that. And I was like, dang, I don't want to just jump off in it. So even like, last year, me and her, anytime I called him, man, I'm like, bro, come look at this house with me. He's like, all right, man, give me 30 minutes. I'm like, damn, this dude, I might have to pay him some money or something eventually.
Oh yeah, now consultation fees
Oh,
are
God.
on the website.
I took advantage last year.
/Marcus.
Well,
He
either
now
way.
charges for his time.
He should though. Legit, he should. But yeah, so end up, that was like the first real person I could like really talk to about it, and not give me a
Right.
bunch of fluff. And then I've been able to connect with the guy who actually did my house. And
Yeah, good. And it's taken off from there.
well, the fun part about it is, like I said, it's a lot harder than I thought. So
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
where I was going with the story was initially you don't have the resources. Now that I have the resources, now trying to put the deals together, and that's parts on me, like finding the projects, making sure the margins are there, and everybody waiting on me. I'm like, damn, this is a lot harder.
Right.
than
Then
I
dealing
thought.
with contractors and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
and so
yeah.
same thing like we said, people see it now. Everybody want to, Terry, teach me how to do this. I'm like, bro, you really don't want to.
Tell them to charge for your time.
It's
Terry.
coming,
Charge
don't
for-
worry. It's
Yeah.
coming.
It's so funny you said. I got a friend. I ain't gonna call no names. I went over and met with the guy about 5 times. Told him what he needs to do, how he needs to do it, and I broke down a budget for him. I know my friend. He's an accountant. He penny pinches for a living. He ain't trying to pay me.
Right.
I sent him all the contracts he needs. You know what he does? He calls me 3-4 times a day, still needing my help. I said, hey, man, you're going to have to pay me.
At some point.
Right. I mean, seriously.
Like, I gave you everybody you need for success, so you're going to have to pay me.
And you still calling me.
Right. So what's next for you, T? What's next?
Really, man, I just want to get into this development game.
Okay.
Love it.
I want to get my builder's license.
Okay.
I think that's a big area. I don't see enough black builders.
Mm-hmm.
We keep talking about inventory is a problem. Well, hell, let's go create the inventory.
There you go. Buy the block.
Yeah.
That's right.
So that, and I don't know, man. We're gonna see where this go.
See where they go.
Okay.
Okay.
Man, you know.
Gonna be Amazon bestseller, then you're gonna be New York bestseller.
Then I'm gonna have to charge y'all.
There you go.
I'm be like, what time this podcast? I don't know if I can fit
Charge
that
for
in.
your appearances.
I'm gonna have my people sing you the
Yeah,
contract.
there you go. There you go. So tell our audience, how do they get a copy of this book?
Yeah. So it's on Amazon, or you can go to Facebook, hit me, or you can just call me directly, 205-253-8017. Yeah, that's basically it, man. Pretty easy.
I love it. Hustling. Like, hey, they in the trunk. Hey.
Look, I'm like literally trapping. I'm making drop off. I'm being for
love
their
it,
house,
Terry.
signing it in the parking lot, whatever you need me to
Whatever
do.
you need. Let's go. All
Absolutely.
right. Support our brother.
Let's do
Nobody
it.
cares.
Nobody
work
cares,
harder.
work harder.
We're
T.
so happy to
Mills,
have you here today,
Thank you
Terry.
for being
Thank
on
you
here
so
with
much.
us, T.
Thank y'all.
All right, so we're going to wrap it up. This concludes another wonderful episode of HouseHeist Uncut.
And when opportunity knocks,
Answer.
absolutely.
All right, to reach us, go to househeist.com. If you want to pick up your Working Class Hero t-shirt, go to househeist.com, Marketplace.